Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome XFL Commissioner and CEO Oliver Luck.
Good afternoon. My name is Oliver Luck. I'm the Commissioner and CEO of the XFL. Thank you for coming out today. We appreciate it. And for those of you tuning in at home on our live stream, thanks for joining us. As you know, just over a year ago, our founder, renowned entrepreneur and visionary Vince McMahon announced that the XFL would launch in 2020. We're about 10 months out now from February of 2020, and we are committed as ever to building the XFL in the proper way. Vince and his vision, Vince and his capital commitment are giving us a marvelous opportunity to reimagine the game and provide America with a fast-paced, up-tempo game, a game with innovations, a game that America knows and loves, the game of football. We soon expect to announce a very powerful broadcast agreement that will deliver all of our games on either broadcast or fully distributed cable television, making it simple and easy for our fans to watch our games consistently every weekend. Over the past several weeks, our head coaches, our football staff, we've been fulfilling our commitment to reimagine the game of football. We've been hiring terrific head coaches. They, in turn, have begun filling out their coaching staffs with great assistant coaches and football folks. For the past couple of weeks, we've all been down in Austin, Texas, working with the Spring League to test our rule innovations, to test our gameplay, to test our theses. It was super exciting because our head coaches were down there, including our soon-to-be-announced New York head coach. Super exciting and fascinating to see the wheels begin to turn with our head coaches as they watched live the rule innovations that we've been talking about for the last couple of months. Our broadcast partners were also with us in Austin, Texas, and they, in turn, are thinking about ways to reimagine the broadcast, to reimagine the brand of football that we're planning to play. They will continue to work with us over the next number of months as we finalize our rule book and finalize our gameplay. There's clearly a lot of work that we still have to do. We've got plenty of time as we plan for February of 2020 and to announce and launch our reimagined game with high-quality, fast-paced, fun football that puts the fans first. Before I turn the attention this afternoon to local activity here in New York, let me pause to welcome Ron Vanderveer, President and CEO of MetLife. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. Look forward to working with you. So I couldn't be more excited to stand here and add another veteran football man to our roster of head coaches and general managers. A key priority for me and for our football staff was to identify experienced coaches who embrace our mission, who are willing to innovate, coaches who aren't afraid to try new things, and to do so with a passion and a zeal for the game of football. So far, I think, as you know, we've introduced Pep Hamilton in Washington, D.C., Bob Stoops in Dallas, Texas, Mark Trestman in Tampa Bay, Jim Zorn in Seattle, and on Thursday, we'll announce our head coach in St. Louis. But today, the announcement is about our New York head coach. To give you a bit of background on the man we have chosen to lead the XFL team in New York, he comes with over 40 years of coaching experience at the college and at the pro level, including 2 seasons as a head coach in the National Football League and 5 years leading his alma mater, Southern Connecticut State University. He spent 10 seasons with the New York Giants as a quarterbacks coach and offensive coordinator. And, of course, he helped guide that team to those great 2 Super Bowl championships with quarterback Eli Manning. He's obviously an offensive-minded leader. He embraces the quicker style of play. We want to be a hallmark of the XFL when we launch in February. As we like to say, he's all about more ball and less stall. So it is with great pride that I am able to introduce the head coach and general manager of your XFL team in New York City. Please join me in welcoming Kevin Gilbride.
Oliver, thank you for that kind introduction, and more importantly, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of this new spring football league created by Vince McMahon, financed so generously by Vince McMahon. It's certainly an opportunity that I'm very, very excited about for a number of reasons. One, having a chance to spend a lot of time over the last few weeks with Oliver and growing to learn of his vision and his plans and his hopes for our league. I can't help but be caught up in his enthusiasm, but also on a much broader range, the entire group of people that I've met at the XFL have really been very, very impressive with their professionalism, with their commitment, with their enthusiasm. You can't help but come away confident that the efficiency of this league is going to give us a chance to be maybe successful where some other leagues in the past have not been. So I think today's affair just gives you a little insight. And thanks, Stephanie, for all her hard work in putting this thing together for us. But also, it puts me back in the coaching saddle again, which I certainly enjoyed being an analyst. It was nice to be correct 100% of the time, as opposed to coaching where you're never right. So, but except for playing, the chance to be back coaching, motivating, putting together a team, that's what I enjoy doing, and it's nice to have that opportunity again. And then finally, I'm intrigued by being in something at the ground floor level, to be at the start, to have a chance to contribute in the shaping of this league as we look forward to getting to the point where we have the final iteration of what this new reimagined football league is going to be like. For those of you who are worried, who are diehards, thoroughbred football fans, I assure you that the basic tenets and principles of the game are still there. The teams that block better, that tackle better, that do the things that have to be done cohesively and with discipline, they're the teams that are going to win. But it is going to be exciting, some of the tweaks that are taking place, and I think the fans are going to really appreciate it. I know this, the challenge for the coaches strategically has been enlarged, particularly when you're looking at some of the things like the extra point, the overtime, et cetera. You better have a pretty good red zone offense, I can tell you that, because many of the games are going to come down to what takes place within the 10-yard line. Although participating and contributing to the development of the league is certainly a big part of what I have to do. My primary focus, no question, is to build this franchise, this organization. I look very much forward to working in partnership with Janet and making this the New York franchise, the flagship franchise of the XFL. I'm sure with her help, we're going to be able to get that done. But if that's going to take place, it's incumbent upon me to put together a staff, and starting with the personnel people. We got to get a group of guys that can not only identify who the good football players are, but also evaluate and understand what it is we're trying to develop in the locker room culturally and what we're trying to do offensively and defensively with our systems, and get people that fit, that can help us be successful as a football team. And then when we get those players there, then I've got to put together a staff of good teachers, motivated teachers, guys that can match the enthusiasm of these players who want one more shot. You know how desperate they are, how hard they're going to work. We need those same kind of people that are great educators, great teachers, great motivators, good men. And it's incumbent upon me to do just that. Unfortunately, that I am blessed with a support staff in my family that allows me to be completely devoted and committed to doing just that. And my wife of over 44 years is here, and she's, as she has said, has endured 19 moves. Now, I say it's only 13, but she counts the moves within the city, and I don't. If the same... But 19 times, but because of her support and the fact that she handles so skillfully all the things that are done in our house, it has allowed me to focus entirely on what I had to do coaching football. One of the things that has happened because of that commitment she has to our family is that she missed my last press conference, the one in San Diego. She was there at the one at Southern Connecticut, and that was a much more successful one, so I'm glad she's here today. But she was there taking care of our two daughters who were suffering from reconstructive knee surgeries from soccer injuries, and so she wasn't able to come out to San Diego. Ironically, one of my daughters is here, Kristen. She's here with her husband, James, my favorite son-in-law. Of course, he's my only son-in-law, but we're delighted to have both of them here, and then my granddaughter, Kaylee, the oldest of our 5 grandchildren. She, quite frankly, is one of the primary reasons that I resigned in the first place. I had wound up giving up a lot of time and things that you just miss when you're coaching with your family, with your own children. You just don't do those things. You have no choice. If you're going to be successful coaching, you have to be completely committed. And though we always say it's family first, quite honestly, it never is family first. It's your job first, and then it's family. So it reached a point where now I could have afforded to step away a little bit, and I did. I didn't want to have what happened with my own children happen with my grandchildren. So I was glad to be able to step aside and spend some quality time with them. But it's gotten to the point now where I start telling my stories. My granddaughter, my oldest one, she finishes them for me. So I realized it was time to get back and create some new ones. So that's what I'm doing. So I at least had to have a new audience, if nothing else. But I'm delighted that all of you here. It's nice to see so many familiar faces. It's nice to think that you're here to wish me well, but maybe it's just here to get another pound of flesh. I don't know. But regardless, I know it's going to come down to how well we do on the football field. I certainly appreciate the knowledge and the passion of the fans that are here in the tri-state area. And I know it's important that we give them a product that they can get excited about, can get behind. And that'll require passionate play by our players, disciplined play by our players, physical play by our players, and that's what I look to do. So thank you very much for being here. I look forward to getting involved, getting started, and please be out there to support us in the spring. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. And there's no question that he'll add a few chapters to his story with his role as the head coach of our franchise in New York City. So we have a special opportunity. Usually with our head coach announcements, it's just the head coach. But we've got a special opportunity to introduce a few additional folks. And I'd like to begin by introducing our new president and COO, our chief operating officer for the XFL, Jeffrey Pollack. Jeffrey has joined us from the Los Angeles Chargers. I am delighted to be able to work with him. He's a driving force behind all the things that we're doing in the XFL. Jeffrey, please come on up.
Thank you, Oliver, and thank you all for being here. Coach, welcome to the XFL. Over the last few weeks, we've started to introduce our XFL team presidents. And whether it's Heather Carrots in Los Angeles, or Eric Moses in Washington, D.C., or Ryan Gustafson in Seattle, we think that we're creating opportunities for new voices and fresh faces to lead professional sports teams and help us reimagine football both on and off the field, and today is no different. Janet Duke is a smart and savvy New York sports executive. She's a New Jersey native. She spent 18 years at Madison Square Garden, serving as Senior Vice President of Marketing for both the Knicks and the Rangers. Most recently, she was Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications for on-location experiences. And as of today, Janet Duke is now the president of the XFL team in New York that kicks off in February. She will lead all of our fan engagement activities in the tri-state area. I'm proud to welcome her to the XFL family, and I'm proud to introduce to you Janet Duke.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey, for your kind words. Good afternoon, all, and thank you. Growing up, I certainly didn't think I'd be sharing a press conference with a head coach of a New York sports team. Welcome back to New York, Coach Gilbride. It's a great privilege to lead the XFL's New York team and be a part of the league's vision to reimagine the football experience, both on and off the field. I'd like to thank Vince McMahon, Oliver, and Jeffrey for the opportunity to be part of the XFL family. I'm truly grateful for your faith in me. I'm very excited to be partnering with Coach Gilbride to build an organization from the ground up and engage with the passionate football fans of the tri-state area. I'm a hometown girl, first generation here, born in Brooklyn, raised in New Jersey, where sports have always been a part of my identity for as long as I can remember. It's been a journey, and today is certainly a milestone. A heartfelt thank you to my family, my friends, my colleagues, and my mentors along the way. To our team presidents in LA, Seattle, and Washington, Heather, Ryan, and Eric, I look forward to the journey of many firsts. I've had the honor of starting my career as a sports executive here in New York, serving as a brand ambassador for the beloved Knicks and Rangers, two franchises with extremely passionate and vocal fan bases. From my experience, greater New York fans want their organizations and their teams to reflect their own core values. And in New York, it's pretty simple. Hard work, grit, heart, community, and tradition. Just like they tackle in their everyday lives. And sometimes that's just the morning commute. With the XFL, we want our fans to be part of this journey with us every step of the way. We plan to really listen to our fans. We want to hear from them what they want from the game day experience and the game itself. We want to really listen to what's important and what really matters, both in broadcast, on the field, and certainly with our digital content. Our goal every day will strive to be at the forefront in bringing our fans closer to the game they love in unique and affordable ways. We want to appeal to all fans. Jeffrey and Oliver, I believe the countdown clock that I saw in the Connecticut office yesterday said it's 298 days to kick off. So we want to wrap things up here today. I think Coach and I have plenty of work to do to get started here. We want to earn the trust of our new fans in the New York market. Thank you all again for attending, tuning in online today, and a special thanks to Stephanie and Alyssa for all their work here today and the work of their staffs.